Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's the singers, the singers only. Singers only.
Hey, you guys, it's Crystal Sherelle from Indie Artist School. Welcome to the Singer's Arsenal. Today, we're going to talk about the 4 ways you can tell if you were born to sing. Now, I know that when you hear that, you might think I'm talking about your innate talent, whether or not you have talent, and that's usually where things usually stop for people. There's a misconception about what it means to be a singer and to have it as a career, hobby, or just doing it for fun, either way. A lot of people think it's something either you're born with or you're not, and that if you're not, it's not necessarily something you can develop. But underneath all of that, there are people who are talented who don't even enjoy singing. So that doesn't necessarily mean they were born to sing per se. So these are the 4 ways you can tell that you were born to sing, all right? The first thing is that it makes you feel good to sing. It's something you enjoy doing. Nobody has to force you to do it. It's a sense of relief for you. It's a way for you to express yourself. And this is something I'm gonna say from my own personal experience, but you feel more yourself when you're singing. That's a huge way to know that you were born to sing, okay? All right, and the second way to know that you were born to sing is that you find yourself singing without being asked. I know that you might think, what are you talking about? What I mean by that is nobody has to force you to do it. I know that sounds like a given, but sometimes if you come from a musical family, maybe you felt peer pressured into singing when you didn't even want to do it. Or maybe you might find yourself in a situation where it's kind of just like you see your friends in choir or something like that. But if it's not something that you wanted to do, like if, somebody just thought you should, it doesn't necessarily mean that you're not meant to sing, but it does mean that you need to really peel back the layers and see how you feel about singing. At the end of the day, it is a creative art, and it's really nothing without passion. So it's important. You got to check in with yourself. Is this something that you really want to do? Okay. All right. And the third way to know that you were born to sing, developing your voice excites you. Like you want to get better. You're passionate about improving yourself. You have goals to sing better than you already are. There are songs that you enjoy that you want to accomplish that are well beyond your skill level. But the idea of learning to sing and developing your voice enough to be able to sing that song excites you beyond belief. Like you love a challenge. Challenges don't make you discouraged. It just gives you another opportunity to grow. You have a passion for working on singing. And the reason why you enjoy learning and developing your voice is because it's actually fun for you. It's not like work, it's what you want to do anyway. The more time you spend singing, the happier you are. So even if that means you're practicing or you're going to lessons, nobody has to force you to do it. It's just something you really enjoy doing. Now, here's the deal. I'm not going to sit here and act like there are not times when it's going to feel like work, and that doesn't mean you're not meant to do it. There is literally nothing in life that has no ups and downs. You could be very passionate and in love with singing, and there will be times where you get burnt out, or there may be times when you're hitting a roadblock and it can get a little discouraging, and you might feel a little frustrated with the situation. but it doesn't last. There's literally nothing that could make you stop singing, okay? So that's a huge way to know if you were born to sing. All right, and the fourth thing that lets you know that you were born to sing is that you always have a student's mindset. It doesn't even matter if you're very experienced. You still see yourself as someone who is learning, growing, evolving. Your voice is something that is very sacred to you. You want to take care of it. You want to learn how to develop it, like I said earlier. But more importantly, you never think you know everything. Even myself, I'm a vocal coach, I'm a singer, and I myself know that there's always something more that I learn. Sometimes when I get on here, you guys, I am doing research based on my own experience, as well as what other schools have learned, what scientists have discovered about the human voice, different vocal coaches' theories. I'm researching a lot of things before I come to you guys and talk about developing your voice, because it really matters to me. And I have the mindset as a student, even though I'm a teacher. And I'm by no means saying that makes me somehow more knowledgeable than anyone. But what that means is that I am going to constantly keep growing. And I really care about being able to give you as much information as I can. And I also want to make sure that what I'm telling you is valid. And the more that I have experience with teaching you guys, with my students, and I have hands-on experience with them, I've learned a lot of things along the way. And but I'm not only relying on what I know from my own experience. I think that's important as a vocalist, even if you're not a coach. But if you're a coach and you're listening to this, hey, it still applies. But this is mostly for the singers out there who are at different stages in their singing career, or even if you're just singing as a hobby and you're wondering if maybe you should pursue it a little bit more seriously, if you should maybe get some voice lessons so you can develop your voice. Having the mindset as a student really helps you develop. And even if you are a professional singer and you've been singing for years, even Mariah Carey has a vocal coach. You know what I mean? If you are wanting to stay on top of things and continue growing, then hey, you're showing that it matters to you. Number 1, it makes you feel good when you sing. All right, that's the first one. We can't forget that. Number 2, you find yourself singing without being asked. It's just something you do. Sometimes you're singing and you don't even realize you're doing it, okay? Number 3, developing your voice excites you, even if it's challenging. Number 4, you always have a student's mindset. If you want to learn how to develop your voice, go ahead and visit my website, indieartistschool.com. I give virtual, private, one-on-one lessons, and I also have an online miniature course called the Indie Artist Toolkit available there as well. That's indieartistschool.com. Also, thank you so much for supporting this podcast by listening, watching the videos, and some of you are even donating to support this podcast, and that goes such a long way to help me continue to produce these episodes. Guys, this is episode number 36. We're in here, okay? You guys have been riding with me. You guys are ride or dies. Like, thank you so much. If you want to support by donating to this podcast, go ahead and visit anchor.fm/thesingersarsenal/support. That's anchor.fm/thesingersarsenal/support. Well, you guys, until next time, have a wonderful day.
Yeah.